Natalia eventually begins her GED classes, where her first assignment is an essay about her identity. As she writes, Kristine's voice plays in her head, reminding her that no one will ever believe her story. In her narration, Natalia explains that in 2011, she had been living with the Barnetts for roughly 4 months. Not long after the car conversation about her using socks during her period, Kristine cornered her in the bathroom. She handed Natalia a tampon and, claiming she was teaching her how to use it, forcefully inserted it herself. When Detective Dale asked if she was actually menstruating at the time, Natalia explains that the first time she ever saw blood from her private area was after Kristine forcibly used the tampon on her. The story shifts back to Natalia's GED classes. Natalia felt much younger and could not make friends. Every day, Natalia walked to school despite severe pain in her legs. Eventually, the weight of it all became too much. She spent her days in a trash-filled area, surviving on whatever scraps she could find to eat. One day, Cynthia noticed Natalia sitting alone, her feet bleeding. Wanting to help, Cynthia approached her, but Natalia panicked, afraid Kristine would somehow find out. At first, she resisted. Cynthia didn't give up. After some persistence, she managed to get Natalia into her car and drove her back to her apartment. Natalia repeatedly insisted she was an adult, but Cynthia could tell she was just a child pretending to be one. Cynthia asked to come inside her apartment, pretending she needed to use the bathroom, but Natalia hesitated. Terrified, Cynthia would report how bad the apartment looked. Eventually, she let her in. Once inside, Cynthia immediately saw the extent of the neglect, worse than anything she had seen before. Cynthia offered to go grocery shopping with Natalia so she could buy groceries for Natalia and her family. When it was time to pay, Cynthia asked Natalia to use her CBT card. Natalia felt uneasy, but eventually agreed. Afterwards, Cynthia invited Natalia over for dinner. That night, Natalia experienced a sense of warmth and family she hadn't felt in a long time. Later, she overheard Cynthia and her husband discussing their financial struggles and quietly wondering if Natalia might be a blessing for them, though their concern for her sounded genuine. Worried about Natalia's constant pain, Cynthia took her to see a doctor. Claiming to be Natalia's mother, but when the doctor began asking questions about Natalia's age and medical background, Cynthia snapped, insisting they were there for pain treatment, not personal interrogation. The doctor refused to prescribe anything without running tests and x-rays and suggested Natalia use a walker. But to get one through disability assistance, her benefits would need to be redirected, benefits that were still being sent to the Barnetts. Cynthia suggested changing the address to Natalia's apartment, but Natalia was terrified the Barnetts would find out. Cynthia then offered to have the mail sent to her instead. Before heading to the SSDI office, Cynthia suggested Natalia take a bath. The suggestion triggered Natalia's trauma, and she lashed out, hitting Cynthia. Immediately, she broke down, apologizing over and over, saying, "I didn't mean to hurt you. Look what you made me do." Instead of reacting with anger, Cynthia recognized the fear behind the outburst and calmly reassured her. The bath idea was dropped, and they went to the SSDI office, where the disability payments were successfully redirected. At the next doctor's visit, the test results came back. The scans showed clear gaps in Natalia's growth plates, something that would not exist if she were truly 22, as those plates would have already closed. Meanwhile, the doctor had grown suspicious during their previous visit and had contacted child trafficking authorities. So when they showed up again, Detective Brandon DeDale questions both Cynthia and Natalia about their relationship. Terrified, Natalia repeated everything Kristine had conditioned her to say, insisting she was 22, even as the doctor pointed out that she still had baby teeth. Around the same time, Cynthia began receiving repeated calls from an unknown number. On the drive home, Cynthia finally answered the unknown number. It was Kristine. Kristine warned Cynthia that Natalia was dangerous, insisting she return her to the apartment before she harmed her children. Kristine also claimed Natalia had tried to seduce her husband. Overwhelmed and terrified, Natalia suddenly jumped out of the car and ran. As she wandered through a nearby park, the story cuts to a disturbing flashback. Kristine violently striking her, demanding to know her real age and who she truly was. Natalia sobbed, apologizing repeatedly and begging Kristine to stop. Instead, Kristine blamed her, coldly saying, "Look what you made me do." She then forced Natalia to walk around the block wearing nothing but socks. This moment explains the blood-soaked socks Kristine had previously claimed were related to menstruation. Cynthia reassured Natalia she loved her. The two made a promise to never stop loving each other. Back at Cynthia's home, Natalia finally took a bath, something she had resisted throughout her time with the Barnetts. The moment symbolized the beginning of her healing. Later, after accompanying the family to church, Natalia looked at Detective Dale's card and told Cynthia she was ready to testify. She questioned how anyone had even determined she was 22 years old in the first place. What tests were used? We flash back to when Natalia was confined in a psychiatric facility. While the Barnetts appear in court attempting to legally re-age her, Natalia is placed in the children's unit where she tells a ghost story to a new friend named Sky. Suddenly, a nurse bursts in and drags her away, informing her that she has been re-aged again and will be transferred to the adult unit. Natalia begs to bring her stuffed toy, Hercules, but the nurse refuses. She is thrown into a room with a restrained adult man and warned that if she doesn't comply, she will be restrained as well. The Barnetts sealed the re-aging records in probate court. Back to present day, Michael and Kristine are living in Canada. Kristine is busy promoting her book. Jacob is doing well in graduate school. Michael, now a stay-at-home father, convinces himself they are living a perfect life. That illusion shatters when he finds a legal motion in the mail seeking to overturn Natalia's age ruling. Michael assures Kristine he will handle it. He manages to shut it down, but another petition soon follows, beginning a 3-year stretch of exhausting legal battles. In August 2017, a new filing arrives, this time requesting that Cynthia and Antoine be appointed Natalia's legal guardians. Michael initially feels relieved, unaware of the danger. Kristine, however, panics. If guardianship is granted, Natalia could be legally recognized as a child again, and they could face charges for abandoning a minor. She tells Michael their relationship is on hold unless he fixes it. Michael travels to Indiana to meet a lawyer arranged by Valika. During the meeting, the lawyer asks for the original re-aging documents. Michael assists Kristine in sending them and hands the phone directly to the lawyer without checking the files himself. As the lawyer scrolls, he suddenly stops and shows Michael something unexpected, explicit photos. Michael is stunned. He and Kristine haven't been intimate in months. He immediately realizes the images were never meant for him. Then Michael's phone rings. His lawyer delivers bombshell news. Natalia's birth mother has come forward in Ukraine. She has documents proving Natalia was a child at the time of the adoption. With the pressure intensifying, Michael finally agrees to testify against Kristine. Michael's attorney wastes no time. He argues that this case was already settled during the re-aging trial, specifically the 2016 attempt by Cynthia and Antoine to become Natalia's legal guardians. That effort was dismissed outright. The judge ruled Natalia was legally an adult before she ever had a chance to speak. Cynthia chose not to appeal, citing the emotional toll it was taking on her. According to Terrence, the matter is closed. Reopening it is nothing more than a waste of taxpayer money. Shockingly, the judge agrees. He rules that any evidence or testimony suggesting Natalia was a child must be struck from the record. In court, she must now be referred to as someone born in 1989. Not the little girl she actually was. The prosecution tries to move forward on general abuse charges, but it's nearly impossible. How do you describe the abuse without acknowledging she was a child? Objection after objection echoes through the courtroom. Even when Natalia herself takes the stand, she's forced to say she was born in 1989. In the end, the Barnetts are found not guilty on all counts. Natalia lashes out at Cynthia for not appealing sooner, even though Cynthia truly believed she was protecting her. Kristine acts smug after the verdict, but she's lost the court of public opinion. Online backlash is relentless. Even Valika turns on her, admitting that Natalia showed remarkable growth during her court appearance, growth she hadn't seen before. Natalia seemed to be undergoing puberty. Still, Kristine doesn't stop gaslighting anyone that cares to listen. In the end, Natalia finally goes back home, to her family who loves and adores her, and in 2024, Natalia was issued a U.S. passport that restored her original birth date, September 4th, 2003. Kristine continues to insist she did nothing wrong till this day. I truly hope Natalia is okay now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.